This is Straight Good Just Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
They had. Here we go.
I'm Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
I hope savior of basketball has won.
Well, the Dortcher Chamber has been going pretty well.
I'm Aaron Wiggins, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mark Dagnall, and I'm down to dunk.
He just does a big smile and
I feel blessed by God to be here with down to dunk, be here with you.
I'm Alex Caruso, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
Oh, jeez. Are you going to sing it good enough for me to guess it, or?
Panhandle. Jeez. I'm tweaking.
Name 2 famous Oklahomans.
Myself and Jalen Williams.
Is that a crazy answer?
All my friends call me Bob.
Where's Rachel? Unique story. You lived a whole life.
Plain?
Plain.
This is Cason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
True blood Oklahoma.
That's right.
Pretty exciting, if you ask me.
This is J-Dub, world champion J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk. And eat burgers.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. Before I get to my good friend Alex Speers, I want to tell you about 2 other friends of mine, Aaron and Drew Reese of Shelter Insurance. Give Drew a call or text 405-478-7714 or Aaron 405-773-5500 today. You're going to need car insurance. You're going to need home insurance. You might as well get it through 2 guys that love the Thunder and are going to do a good job and can help save you some money. Maybe you have a boat. I don't know. Maybe an RV. If you have any of that, they can help you out. Give them a call or text today and support the people that support Down to Dunk. With me on a Wednesday morning is my good friend Alex Speers. Alex, what's up?
What's up, Andrew?
What is up? All-Star break. No basketball happening.
A lot of time for some fruitful discussions.
A lot of time.
A lot of people weighing in on various topics.
What are what topics are sticking out to you, Al?
No, it's just there's just. I thought we had reached peak tank talk, and it's gonna keep going. Keep going.
Oh no.
It's fun that the Thunder are involved. I mean, obviously they're a great team. They've won a ton of games, but we are tangentially involved in the biggest tanking stories. That's fun.
They're sticking around.
Yeah.
We couldn't have a tanking story without involving the Thunder, right?
Yeah. So I like that. I like having a dog in the fight.
Yeah. It's great. The tanking is going to get nasty. I think it's going to be
nasty.
Going to be a disgusting end to the season, and I talked about this on Slam and Jam. It should be, because this draft is that good. There are so many teams right now that are scouting this draft that are thinking we have to get a top 3 pick. Like we just need it. We just need a top 3 pick. There's so many teams that just need true franchise cornerstones that need these draft picks. And so you go all the way down to Memphis, Milwaukee, that's 9. We're all the way down to the 9th team. They all need one of these guys. Kings, Wizards, Hawks, Pacers. Pacers maybe don't need it, but you kind of, especially with the way that they back themselves or they box themselves in, they need to stay in the top 4. Brooklyn needs one maybe more than anybody. The Jazz need it. Dallas needs it too. Memphis, since they've torn down, and then the Bucks need some luck too. They all need to be there, and the top 3 is worth it. So
the Bucks have to give up those hopes, okay? Because Oos has taken them to the promised land.
That's true.
Which is the play-in. And so they just got to get used to that.
They
got to get Oos to that.
They got to get Oos to that. Another topic that I discussed on the Dream Team show yesterday, I was kind of curious on just your general thoughts on it, was just the addition of Jared McCain complicates the Thunder summer a little bit in a good way, in that they have no roster spots. Their roster is full of only good players.
Yeah.
But they have no roster spots. And they have this pick from the Clippers right now. If it's stayed where it is, it'll be 13th overall. They have this pick from the 76ers that'd be 18th overall. I'm just extremely curious what they would do, come summertime. I mean, they even have this Dallas second rounder that's the 37th pick. That's kind of a valuable pick. Maybe they'd just use that on a two-way guy. But they've got 3 pretty valuable picks in a good draft. And so I don't know what your thought is on, like, if they had to get rid of 2 guys, who would it be?
Oh, well, there's that. Or, I mean, we're going to do a picks draft a little later, but one thing you quickly notice is that, like, once you get beyond next year's draft, the whole, like, OKC has 1 million picks, it's over.
Yeah.
After 2027, there's 2 outstanding picks.
Yep.
There's the 28 Mavericks pick and the 29 Denver pick. So I would assume that Presti would like to replenish some of those years that are further out.
Well, and a way to replenish is to trade some of the guys they have now too.
Yeah, you could get picks back for some of those guys.
Future picks. Like if you were to offer Isaiah Joe, not that they're going to trade Isaiah Joe, but they could. And if you offered Isaiah Joe, you could probably get a protected first for Isaiah Joe. You don't think so?
I don't know. I mean, Ayo Dosunmu didn't go for. He went for some seconds. I know that Isaiah Joe's on like a better contract, but I just don't feel like those players.
Good contract. I just wonder if you could, and also we're talking about Sam Presti too.
I don't think there would be a first round pick market out there for Isaiah Joe, as good as he's been.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not worth that, but those types of guys just usually don't go for a first.
Not at the deadline. That's true.
I mean, I feel like guys that are worth a first on this roster, J-Dub, Cason Wallace, AJ Mitchell. AJ Mitchell, because I mean he's really good, but also his deal is like absurd.
His deal is insane. Yeah.
I guess we have to say Jared McCain. He just went for a first, so why would he?
Did. He did.
Chet, iHeart, SGA, Dort. I think Dort would go for a first for sure. Yeah. Caruso, get you a first.
Yeah.
I think that's about it. I don't know if you're getting a first for like Sorber, Topic. Topic, I mean, you have no idea. We'll see how we feel at the end of the year. Wiggins is the other one. Maybe. I mean, Joe's been better. Joe, if you factor in Joe's improvement, though, Joe's been a lot better this year. He has. I mean, he would help an incredible number of teams. I'm just not convinced that a team would, honestly, be smart enough to be like, oh, okay, we have this late first. What are the chances that we're going to grab someone in the late first that's, or we assume that this is going to be a late first pick.
Yeah.
That is going to be better than Isaiah Joe. I get that, but I just don't feel like those players ever go for first.
Yeah, that could be true. But they could use players to replenish as well as they could just take these draft picks and just punt them to
and waive them
2029.
They could draft them and immediately waive them.
I think
abolish the draft, Andrew.
God, the abolish the draft stuff is so stupid.
Yeah, my thing about the abolish the draft thing is it's the same people. It's a Venn diagram of people who also want us to watch the games and stop talking about trades and slop. Not realizing that if you abolish the draft, the recruitment cycle will take over NBA media. Especially in a draft like this, you'll be getting stories every week about how this team or this team is trying to recruit, Boozer or Darren Peterson. It'll become like college recruiting, but on an even larger scale.
Yeah.
Because these guys have a chance to be like $1 million stars next year, you know? I think it would, I do not, I mean, for all the other reasons it's bad, but that I think is one of those unintended consequences that people don't realize how much that would change just the media consumption of the NBA.
Yeah, it's like, hey, we're getting word right now that Cameron Boozer and Kingston Flemings are interested in playing for the Lakers.
Cam Boozer was spotted at a lunch with I can't even remember his name, the Lakers GM,
Rob Pelinka.
Rob Pelinka. Yeah.
Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss are sitting down with Cameron Boozer, Caleb Wilson, and Kingston Flemings for brunch. And the Lakers are clearing cap space so they can bring in all three. Like,
And
no. It is that if you think that small markets have a hard time right now, you abolish the draft. And I'm telling you, small markets will die. Die.
I actually think it would not hurt OKC as much as it would hurt other teams, but like you would have to just get rid of Sacramento. They can't get guys now to come work out with them in the draft.
No, Sacramento, Memphis, Cleveland would have a hard time.
Like OKC, at least they have a reputation now. And you know, we've heard the stories like leading up to the draft about like guys wanting to work out with OKC.
Yeah.
You know, like that organization having a lot of respect.
So that's whenever like some of those guys, like you don't get to choose
Yeah.
LA.
Yeah.
You don't get to choose Miami. You don't get to choose Boston. Like that's whenever you don't even have that on the table. You put that on the table. Are that many guys interested in Oklahoma City? I'm sorry. I love Oklahoma City. I love living here. But guys would not choose to come here. Even with the sterling reputation. I don't think guys would choose to come here like that are top level. They could get some guys.
Oh my God. I'm just thinking of like how big player recruitment would be in that scenario.
Oh, it'd even be harder though for the Thunder, like right now, because they don't have minutes. Like the Thunder could get the number one pick in this draft just out of luck. But like there's no way that they could sit down with Darren Peterson or Devanza or Boozer and say like, hey, we'd love for you to come to our team. They're like, okay, am I starting? Well, no. Well, what are my minutes? Well, we'll figure it out as we go. Like, no, those guys aren't coming here. You're saying, and there's not a beach? No way.
We'll have to build a team out of Aaron Wiggins's at that point.
Yeah, I mean, for real. That's for real. And
it would be funny though, because you know that there'd be some unintended consequences where like, okay, yeah, sure, the Lakers would like have a lot of power, I guess, but they'd also make some bad decisions. Like there would be teams that would, if you're abolishing the draft, you could still give a lot of money to these guys who have never played. There would be some like all-time bad decisions with bringing in guys and then having those contracts. So, I mean, it would be entertaining if I was a neutral observer, but ultimately, I think it would make a few franchises not viable. They would not be able to exist.
Yeah, if like some team like paid Reed Shepherd like he was like an all-star player, right, draft or something, or Risa Shea, or
that's when it would be funny. And those kind of like bad drafts, teams slowly talking themselves into guys and then giving them like massive contracts.
Yeah,
right out of college.
Yeah, or DeAndre Ayton getting $40 million out of college or something. Ben Simmons, Markelle Fultz.
Maybe the Kings still get Marvin Bagley, and they give him like $50 million a year or something.
Can you imagine making Michael Kidd-Gilchrist your franchise player because you've recruited him and he's agreed to come to your team?
Yeah, it would be very different. So I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it is
a objectively dumb idea.
Yeah, I understand the like labor argument behind it, but what doesn't make where they're not connecting the dots is just like how important one player is in the NBA.
Yes,
it's so different from any other sport. I mean, you could say that some QBs for sure probably matter as much as one player in the NBA.
But rarely do they predict the right guys.
I know, and yeah, a lot of time they're guys not at the top. I mean, even like someone like Pat Mahomes went like 10th or 11th in his draft. So it's not a guarantee the way it sometimes feels with like a Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
Or like Cade Cunningham or guys like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. It's just a super bad idea. It's a super bad idea.
We're getting a lot of them though.
Yeah.
Add to the list. Throw it on the pile.
Listen, people are suggesting a ton of bad ideas, and Silver even talked about it. He's like, it's really this class, and like people need to wake up and realize that it is this draft class that is this good, that's this important, Next year, it's not going to happen. And the people that are complaining about tanking now is like, whoa, they're going to make like one tweak to it. They're gonna be like, oh, I think the Silver solved tanking. We got to give them credit. It's a bad draft class. Nobody cares. It doesn't really matter at that point. Like
you look at the teams at the bottom.
Yeah.
Who will definitely not be tanking next year? The Wizards. They're not tanking. They have AD and Trey.
Yeah.
Now things could turn bad, like it did for the Pacers or something. But they're not going into the season planning to tank.
Yeah.
The Pelicans won't be going into the season planning to tank, although they also weren't doing that this year.
You look at their roster and it's like, how are you this bad?
I don't know. I've been thinking about that this week. Well, Zach Lowe brought it up as one of his most confusing teams right now.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I felt the same way. Just like, okay, I get early on in the season, like you're trying to figure out how it's going to work with these two rookies, but like at this point, like they're starting to get guys back. And I mean, I guess to their credit, they're 5-5 in their last 10. They're 500 team. So,
sure.
But yeah, like the Pacers are not going to be tanking next year.
No.
Brooklyn, we'll see, but they don't have their pick next year.
No,
I believe
this one is like so stressful for the Nets.
Yeah,
like
they need to get below the Pelicans.
Yeah,
they need to get in that third spot. Utah, we know, is not tanking next year.
Yeah,
and Dallas doesn't have their pick next year. So like all of these teams, like Memphis is the one team where like actually I don't even know if they have their pick next year. Now that I think about it, because of the Desmond Bane trade, I can't remember which. But like all of these teams are not going to be incentivized to tank next year. Now there will be new teams to join the fray. Who knows who it'll be? Someone will get hurt. I mean, I didn't mention the Bulls. Who knows? The Bulls.
They'll win 35 games.
But you look at the landscape of the league going into next season, there's only a couple teams you could make the case for, oh, they'll probably want to tank. Like the Kings should probably do it again just because they're so bereft of talent on their roster.
Yeah, they are.
But yeah, a lot of these teams, like this is kind of their final year. And they know it, and everyone else knows it. They made trades at the deadline, proving it. So
well, I mean, I don't think anybody cares about that draft all that much.
What? Well, that's so sad, Andrew. That's so sad. It's so far away, and we already don't care about it. Come on.
I don't think anybody cares about it. It'll be a lot like the Ricochet draft, I think. They'll be good players.
You don't care about Bruce Branch?
I don't know. No, I don't.
I'm looking at guys.
Sorry, Bruce.
Cameron Williams?
No.
Baba Ola Doughton?
Yeah, I'm in on Baba.
You are in on Baba. Okay. Cool.
Consider me a Baba guy.
Oh, that guy from what is his nickname? I don't know how to say his name. It's Miikka. Do you know that guy? He's from Finland. What is his nickname? He has a cool nickname. Slim Jesus.
Slim Jesus. I was like something Jesus, I think.
That doesn't get you excited about the 2027 draft? We're gonna have Slim Jesus?
All right, I'm back in.
Okay.
I'm back in. Okay, I'm back.
Just give these guys a chance. He's 6'11", 203 pounds.
Oh wow, that is slim.
Yeah.
Quite slim.
Pair him up with Chet.
Slim Jesus and Cheddar Bob.
And Cheddar Bob. That would be a good pair.
Anything interests you about the Thunder coming out of the break? I mean, obviously, like health is.
Yeah, who's healthy? Who's playing against the Nets on Friday? That's number one. Yeah, I think the race for the 1 seed, if the health doesn't pan out, is going to get really interesting really fast. And if they don't end up as the 1 seed in the West, which seems crazy now, but it's only 3 games. Yeah. And with their health, like that really could become a topic very fast. And being in the 2 seed is just a much different conversation.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be in that conversation.
Yeah.
So, because then, I mean, then you're definitely setting up a Denver series in round 2, assuming they can get out.
Yeah, Denver or San Antonio in round 2.
Yeah. And you're probably playing Phoenix in round 1, which is going to be more challenging than whoever you would play as the 1 seed.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, I think they need to hang on to the number 1 seed. And they don't have a particularly easy schedule the rest of the season either.
Yeah, what are they ranked on Tankathon right now?
Let's see.
Let's say they are number 2. Denver is number 1. Minnesota is number 3.
Yeah, they just need the Spurs to not win. So, yeah, I mean, they just need to get healthy, and hopefully we have Dub or Shea back after the break to help out. And not necessarily against Brooklyn, but you have the Cavs Sunday. Like this time next week we'll be in the middle of a pretty brutal stretch where it's Cavs at home at noon. We have Raptors on Tuesday night, back to back in Detroit. And then on Friday is Denver at home. So
yeah, and that Detroit game's coming up quick.
Yeah. I hate that the Detroit game's the second night of a back-to-back.
That's what they love doing.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That Sunday, though, against the Mavericks, which is a NBC Peacock game. It's in Dallas, but we are having a watch party at Fuzzy's at Chisholm Creek, and we're doing a little giveaway with our friends at Bob Moore Kia. And I'm trying to put the picture in here because it's a pretty cool giveaway that we're doing. Shout out to Bob Moore Kia for helping us out with this. But everybody that comes will get, or I guess the first big chunk of dunkers. We're getting a lot.
We'll get a car.
We'll get a brand new car. No, you'll get a Down to Dunk hat.
Wow, that's a nice looking hat.
So you get a Down to Dunk hat for free, courtesy of Bob Moore Kia.
For free.
And you get to come and hang out with us. We'll do a live podcast that night after the game. There will be the brand new 2027 Kia Telluride there.
Can you drive it during the watch party?
I don't think you can drive it, but you can certainly sit in it and pretend to drive it.
And you can rev it.
Can rev it up? I don't know if you can do that, but you can. But you can wear
throw it in nooch.
Throw that thing in nooch, okay? And put your Down to Dunk hat on. Have a seat in there. These are limited edition Down to Dunk hats, courtesy of our good friends at Bob Moore Kia. So just show up and come hang out with us. Watch the game. We'll do a lot.
Watch the game. Put that thing in neutral. Push it around. Have a good time.
Have a good time and get a free Down to Dunk hat. I'll send you one, Al. I'll send you a Down to Dunk hat.
Cool. Nice looking.
Yeah, they're cool. Okay. Anything else before we get to our draft?
No.
Okay.
Ready.
Okay. Well, let's take a break and then talk about Baltimore Kia again right after this quick break.
Okay.
And we're back after that quick break. I want to tell you a little bit more about our friends over at Bob Moore Kia. They are located on Northwest Expressway in between Council and Rockwell. They will be a huge help to you. Walk in the door, you got friendly faces all over the place trying to help you get into a Kia. If you've never test driven a Kia, I just challenge you to do so. I challenge you to do it and tell them that Down to Dunk sent you. Right now you can get a Kia Seltos for $297 a month for 48 months. You can get a Kia K4. Very cool car. $155 a month for 24 months. Both incredible vehicles. Right now, you can see the Kia Carnival up on YouTube. Incredible van. Love driving it. Family loves it. If you've got a family, I recommend the Carnival. You can go test drive one today over at Bob Moore Kia and tell them that Down to Dunk sent you and support the people that support Down to Dunk. Just reported by Shams Charania, Kyrie Irving, unsurprisingly, will miss the rest of the season. So give himself some more time to recover. Not shocking. And it's also like, we would like to stay in the top 10 of this draft lottery and give ourselves a chance. And
yeah, they've been doing a really impressive job as kind of a natural tank
Yeah.
because they just stink and their best players got injured and they traded them away.
Yeah.
And now they've lost 9 in a row.
It helps to lose 9 in a row to establish your draft position.
That's really impressive. 9 game losing streak.
Yeah.
I mean, the Kings are the GOATs right now. They're at 14, but
14 is crazy. Yeah.
I mean, I did not think a few weeks ago that the Mavs had a chance to jump Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And now it's a conversation.
Yeah, Brooklyn better start.
Sorry. I meant to say the Jazz, but I meant to say the Jazz, not Brooklyn.
Even Brooklyn, because they're only, what are they?
They're 2.5 back.
Yeah.
3.5 back of Dallas.
Yeah. In the loss column, though, they're the same as Brooklyn, Utah is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that'd be great, Dallas, if you could jump Utah.
I don't think it's going to matter, though, because even if they jump Utah, that only puts Utah in the 7th spot.
I mean, every spot matters.
Every spot matters, but if you're in the 7th spot, your chance of I guess you'd have, we'd end up with a like 14% chance.
Yeah, it's
of
not
getting the 9th pick.
It's not going to be great, but should we do a tankathon spin before we do our draft pick draft? Just for fun?
If you want to start off with disappointment,
yeah, let's do a little disappointment first. Love to be disappointed. Okay, all right, here we go. And the Thunder stay at 13, and the Utah Jazz move down to 7. Indiana gets the number 1 pick.
Wow.
Atlanta number 2, and Brooklyn jumps to 3. Chicago jumps all the way to 4.
Yeah, dude. Utah dropping to 7 and Washington being at 6. That is apocalyptic.
Yeah. I like this outcome. I know it's not good for the Thunder, but I like this outcome because we send all those good guys to the Eastern Conference.
Yes, let's go. And even the 4th guy.
Yeah. I like that. I would take that. Just don't allow San Antonio to somehow jump up again. That would be truly apocalyptic if San Antonio somehow jumped up again.
Yeah, that would not be fun.
All right, Al, so you want to set our draft pick draft up for the listener?
Yeah, I did this with Rylan Stiles a while back.
Yeah.
Before this season. And I think well before this season.
Mm-hmm.
And so our opinions have changed on these picks because a lot of things we know a lot more about some of these picks. We probably have stronger opinions on some of the later picks. And so me and Andrew are going to draft the remaining outstanding first-round picks from other teams that the Thunder currently hold. So I'll go through them real quick. The 2026 Sixers pick, which is top 4 protected this season, most likely is going to convey. The only way it wouldn't convey is if they fall into the play-in, they lose in the play-in, then they jump up into the top 4. If that somehow happened, it would still be top 4 protected next season as well.
Yeah.
And then it becomes a 27 second if it's not conveyed. The Jazz pick, we're all very familiar with. Top 8 protected. Obligation is extinguished.
It's gone.
You're not getting a second even.
It's gone.
If it is not conveyed. And then the 26 Clippers pick, which is unprotected. Next season, we start with these Nuggets picks. So it's a top 5 protection for the 27 Nuggets pick. Now that top 5 protection goes through 27, 28, and 29.
Yeah.
And then becomes a second if it's not conveyed. That would be if it's not conveyed, something so bad happened.
And over and over and over again, something bad happened.
Yes.
That thing's going to convey. Yeah.
The pick I always forget the Thunder have, the 2027 Spurs pick, which protected 1 through 16. This is the pick they got in the deal with the Kings for Neat Clifford, which right now that's not looking like a great value bet that they made because if this was a 26 Spurs pick, it would be like I think the 28th pick. Now if it was in 26, maybe feel better about that draft, but this is a 27 pick. So this is probably going to be at the back of the first round in 2027, but it will convey. Most likely. Maybe this is a pick you trade. We'll see.
Yeah.
Then you have a 27 Clippers pick, which is an unprotected swap. And then after you get past 27, just 2 picks remaining. A 28 Mavericks pick, which is an unprotected swap.
Yeah.
And then a 29 Nuggets pick, which is top 5 protected in 29 and 30, becomes a second if it's not conveyed. So, Andrew, I'm going to let you have the first pick.
Okay.
And basically, we're creating 2 teams. We always talk about creating 2 teams on the Thunder. Oh, they have enough good players to have 2 teams that can make the playoffs. I don't know if that's true anymore. But we are going to make 2 teams that are going to have 4 pretty nice picks. Pretty nice first-round picks, okay?
Yeah.
And then people can pick which team they'd rather be. So I'm interested to see whether you go with the kind of certainty of some of these 26 picks or whether you go are a gambling man and go for some of these picks that are further out.
Yeah. I think I'll take the 26 Clippers pick still.
The 26 Clippers pick. Let me X that out. All right.
Yeah. Because I think this draft is going to be good through that range. Like you could get Yaxel Lindeborg, who I think is going to be really good. I don't know if Acquaintance is going to be quite in that range, but I think like that's somebody like Koa Pete is somebody that'll be kind of in that range. Like all these kind of bigger forwards that I think they're all good. And so I think that you could get somebody here. And if none of those guys fall, like there will be good players there. You go to like 7 or 8. Is it crazy that those guys would be franchise guys? Like it's not crazy. Somebody won't be, somebody will be. But there are good players that will fall to the Thunder in this draft that I feel confident about. And I think that next year kind of starts a new almost like a different era of the Thunder because all these guys' contracts kick in.
Yeah.
And so like they've had the current iteration of the Thunder is like we don't pay the tax. We have super great depth. We have guys like we have certainty that are good throughout the roster. And I think next year will be kind of a new era of the Thunder in that like they're going to be more expensive. They're going to have to change the roster in some ways. And they're going to bring in probably they're certainly bringing in a couple young guys. I know Topic played the other night, but like I think they'll get like a real crack at like who Nikola Topic is next season. And then you'll have Thomas Sorber, who will come in that will demand minutes because they picked him 15th overall, and they'll take whoever they get with this pick. And I think that it'll kind of be a new era of like, hey, we need to kind of replenish the back part of the roster with guys that could potentially be front half of the roster guys if it works out. And so I do think that longevity has always been a thing the Thunder value. And I think that we'll kind of see next year as a year where they try to capitalize on some of that longevity. And so I do think like this pick is particularly important, to that.
Yeah. And the Clippers are going to be in the play-in.
Yeah.
So that kind of dream is dead. But I'm feeling confident that they're going to stay in 10th. I know that they've had a good week post-trade deadline with no Harden. But I feel like the Blazers are slowly getting it together. They're just getting guys back. They're having more consistent, healthy nights.
Yeah.
And they're still 2.5 back of the Warriors, who aren't good, but they've been fine. And they're definitely not catching the Suns. So I'm hopeful that they'll stay in the 10th spot, which would mean they'd have to win 2 road games in the play-in to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which is tough.
And Kawhi's healthy now. Will Kawhi be healthy come play-in time? If he's not, then they're just toast.
Yeah.
Then we'll have Bird Night Part 2.
Bird Night Part 2. Let me see. Sorry, I'm going to show you. What did I? Oh yeah, they're 26 and 28. Yeah, so that's the other thing, like comparing them and Philly, because I really do think there's a chance that Philly falls to the play-in. But why are you laughing? I don't know why you're laughing.
That's just such a disaster for them.
It's real. I'll talk about it when we get to that pick.
You look at the teams that are in the play-in. There's some embarrassment for teams that are there right now. Not for Charlotte. Charlotte's like it's all gravy.
Oh, I've got my eye on Charlotte.
I do too. And I keep asking this question, but like, is Orlando really this bad? Like I saw them in person not that long ago, and they were an embarrassment of a team.
I think they are.
It is so weird. It is so weird how bad they've been. And like I made fun of them for losing to the Bucks, and then the Thunder lost to the Bucks in almost the same way. So I can't make fun of them too much. But yeah, they need to get it together.
Yeah, one of the craziest takes I saw this year, which I'm going to go check to see. Okay, it has definitely changed. Okay, when the Ringer had their trade value rankings,
Yeah,
the one right before this most recent update, because this one was updated on February 4th, but they had Paulo at like 7 or 8, ahead of guys like Cade Cunningham, for instance.
That's wild.
I want to see how far he's dropped in their ranking.
Oh, the opinions on Paulo have
still scrolling.
Plummeted.
I am still scrolling. Okay, he's now down to 31.
Yeah.
He's in a group called "Thank God He's on a Poison Pill and We Can't Seriously Discuss This."
Yikes.
Yeah, he's I the Magic are secretly in one of the. They're not like in the worst spot because they have young guys.
Yeah.
But they are locked in to that squad in a way that is very uncomfortable.
They push fast forward too quickly.
Before they may have, although it felt natural because of the injuries. Like the injuries in previous seasons felt like they were clouding this like really good team that just needed to get healthy. So then you feel like, okay, well, if they add Bane and they're healthy, which one, they haven't been healthy again.
Yeah.
But also they're just not good.
No, they're not good. I would be very worried. And it's kind of cool now that you can say definitively the Thunder have the 2 best players from that draft on their team.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I didn't tell you this part, but it is going to be a snake draft because I was looking at the picks and I realized I'm going to lose if it is not a snake draft.
That's fine.
Has to be a snake draft. Okay, number 2 pick. I'm going to go with. I'm going to go 27 Clippers.
Okay.
Now, I was debating between what is going to be my next pick and this pick.
Yeah.
The downside of this pick is that, as you said, everyone hates the 27 class.
Yeah.
It's trash. None of these players are going to be good. They're all busts. But one thing we got going for us is, as I was talking about with the West next season, a lot of these teams at the bottom are not going to be tanking next year.
It's true.
And maybe that doesn't matter for some of them. Maybe Dallas is still not great, although Kyrie will be back. So they're going to try. They don't have a pick, so that they might as well.
Trade him though. Like
they could, yeah.
I would guess that he would want to go somewhere else this summer.
But at the very least, I'm confident that the Jazz will be a solid team next year.
Yeah, they'll be a play-in team, if not the 6th best team in the West.
And if some of these teams got lucky, not the Kings, but like the Grizzlies, if the Grizzlies got lucky, in the draft and got a number 1 or number 2 pick, I could see them being like fine next year, pretty quickly.
I think they'll stink, but
they probably will. But I think they have a better. I mean, like the Pelicans. I would like to say that the Pelicans will be better next year, but I don't really see why that would be the case.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
But at least we'll have the Jazz. So I don't know. I think there's going to be, as you talked about, there's going to be probably fewer teams tanking, less negative pressure on the bottom of the standings.
Yep.
So they'll be pushing up.
Yep.
And it's going to come down to health again, this time with Darius Garland and Kawhi. And we'll see what happens. But I don't know. I'm not like giving up on that pick just because they made that trade for Darius Garland.
Yeah. And this is like, these drafts are so much about your scouting too. I mean, the Thunder got AJ Mitchell in a bad draft. I know it's a second rounder, but
yeah,
you just know the Thunder are going to put in the work, for any draft. So it is an advantage whenever you do care that much about the draft.
And then my second pick is going to be the 2028 Mavericks swap.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, obviously, everyone loves Cooper Flag, but after this season, like if they get screwed in this draft, if they don't get a good pick, their mechanisms to make this team better and specifically put young talent around Cooper Flag,
it's
pretty limited.
Yeah, it is.
They don't have control of their pick until I think 2030, maybe 2031.
Mm-hmm.
And by this time, 2028, if they didn't trade Kyrie, he's going to be 35, 36. And you just look at their roster, and I don't see what the clear path to them getting significantly better during this time span is if they don't hit in this draft.
Yeah, I agree.
So, because again, they don't have like a ton of assets to trade out in terms of pick assets. Now they do have these like big guys, and you might get a first here or there for some of these big guys, but I don't know. I feel like they need to get Lively healthy, see what they have with Lively and Flag, and then they'll have a better idea if they have anything of value on the rest of their roster. But as of right now, I don't see why the Mavs are going to shoot up the standings, even if I think Cooper Flag is awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with that. I think that makes sense.
Okay, what is your next pick, Andrew?
I'll take the 26 Sixers pick.
All right.
You made a good case for them. Like, you just look at the standings, and is it crazy that they would drop? It's not. I mean, the Magic are a game and a half back. The Hornets are 4.5 games back, but they've just been really good lately. They have a better net rating than Philly. The Heat also have like a good net rating for a team that's in the play-in.
Yeah.
It's like those are 3 teams that could jump Philly. And Philly is just kind of barely hanging on there. So I think that there's a good chance that Philly falls. And then, like, you just don't know. I would pick Philly to win a playing game and then sneak in. But that's another, like, mid-first round pick that you could either take a guy or you could flip the pick for a future pick that I think would hold value to a team that just needs a young guy. So I like it in that way. I like the Clippers pick in that way too. Is like they're both like very tradable first round picks that I think teams would value, especially teams that don't have a first rounder in this draft, or just teams that need cheap guys at the end of the roster to develop. Like there's a lot of those teams, and so I do think that there's both those picks hold value just because of how good the draft is. So I'll take both.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see what the value is on that 27 Clippers pick because
yeah, I know.
I mean, I just talked myself into it. You could imagine anything with it, but we also could get to a point in next January where it's like, oh, Kawhi's healthy again. Darius Garland is playing pretty well. They're kind of like a solid play-in team.
Yeah.
And that pick isn't really looking that juicy.
Yeah.
Which kind of happened this year. Who knows if there were any offers made for that 26 Clippers pick back when they were 6-19,
right?
But yeah, you just wonder if that influences whether they move that earlier or later.
Yeah,
I don't have a ton of confidence in the Clippers next year, but
I
didn't this year when they were 6-19.
I know.
It didn't matter.
I know. Yeah, I'm with you.
One thing I wanted to show you, Andrew, just some on-off numbers for Philly. When Paul George is on, they're a plus 5.25.
Wow.
This is really small because it wasn't supposed to be shared. When Paul George is off, they're a -2. When PG and Embiid are off, they're a -4.
Yikes.
There is a very I would say, bad team here when those two guys are not involved. We know Paul George is not going to be involved for a little while longer. We don't know what's going on with Embiid.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm looking at those Hornets. I'm saying, how many more games can y'all win? Can you keep this momentum going and put pressure on Philly? Now, the only thing that's bad, and this is I was comparing the Clippers and the Sixers.
Yeah.
Seeing like how many of their final 28 games are against these worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And Philly's playing 10 of their 28 are against teams that are either just not winning or are just truly terrible.
Yeah.
Whereas the Clippers are playing 11 of their 28 games against those teams, like almost half their remaining schedule.
Yeah.
So that's another reason they're not falling out. I did think it was interesting. This is kind of a bummer. Utah's only playing 8 of their remaining games against these tanking teams.
Yeah.
But 3 of those games are against the Pelicans. who aren't trying to lose. So like the Pelicans could easily win those games against Utah. So I'm having my doubts that Utah really has a shot to fall down the standings.
Yeah. At this point, it's really just do 3 teams behind them jump,
Yeah,
which is extremely unlikely.
it is very.
So,
Andrew, what's your next pick? You get another pick.
I guess I'll take the 29 Nuggets pick.
Yeah, I think you got to.
I don't love that just because I don't really see this Nuggets team being bad anytime soon, but you never know.
And that's far enough out.
Yeah.
That's 4 seasons away.
The Thunder will be in a completely new building by then.
Oh, that'll be nice.
So, yeah, it is far enough out to where it has enough, like, I don't know. Like maybe Jokic is just like, yeah, I'm tired. I'm going home, Like, and if that happens, then that's going to be an amazing pick because they'll have nothing, So Aaron Gordon will be done by then. I mean, it'll be a completely different squad. So there's a lot of questions. Like they're going to have a lot of developmental success here. Peyton Watson will have to stick around, which, man, if I'm a team, if I'm Brooklyn or another team that has cap space, I'll pay Peyton Watson a lot of money to come to my team. So yeah, I'll be intrigued to see what happens there, but I'll take that one just because it's the least certain of these last ones.
Yeah, that season, Jokic will be 35. Aaron Gordon will be 34.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray, he'll be younger. He'll be like 32.
Yeah.
33. But yeah, that's an aging team.
It could be a mid-teens pick by then.
Yeah, maybe.
Or it could be like,
it's still juicy though. It's still juicy.
it could be a bottom 5 pick.
So I'll take these 27 Nuggets, 27 Spurs.
Okay. Yeah.
I've unfortunately over leveraged myself with the 27 draft.
you have.
I'm really betting it all on Slim Jesus to come through for me, which is not great. But yeah,
the Thunder, I think if we did this after next year's draft, I think that we could probably do another draft because I do think that they're going to flip. They're not going to take all these guys like they have.
Yeah, and the thing about these 2 picks that does make them valuable is that they are real firsts.
Yeah.
You're
not
pretty much certain that you're going to get them. I mean, yes, the Spurs pick is protected 1 through 16.
Yeah.
I don't think the Spurs are going to be in the top 16 for a long time. So you can feel pretty confident that you're at least getting both of those picks. So if you're another team and you just need a cheap contract that could potentially have high upside,
yeah,
it's they work for that. So
yeah. Well, the Thunder got these Nuggets picks from picks like that.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that are more high leverage picks, and I think that they will try to do the same thing, and they'll probably try to do the same thing with either the Clippers or the Sixers pick. They may take both of them and then have to figure out the roster later, but there's a good chance that they just take one guy and then figure out who to trade, or maybe Lou Dort is like, hey, this is my one chance to get a massive payday in the NBA, and I need to go take advantage of that.
The league's really lucky that OKC has had a lot of luck in a lot of ways, but they've also all these picks, like going back to the tanking years, and everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, same price you just collecting first round picks."
Right.
None of them have really hit in the way that would be league changing.
Yeah.
I mean, the J-Dub pick that ended up being league changing, but because of the player who was taken, not because the pick jumped up.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the best pick. That
it did jump up though.
Because they lost. Yeah, because they lost because Bird Night.
Because of Bird Night, yeah.
Because of Bird Night.
Exactly.
But none of those Rockets picks, conveyed, in an interesting way, to the point where they just traded this year's. Which, hey, would you rather have anything? Would you rather have the Rockets pick this season after the KD files?
Oh man,
were released.
I mean, maybe. I don't know what's gonna happen there. I think I would still rather have the Philly pick, but
Yeah, I think I would too.
But it is at least a question now whether I'd rather have that one or not. I still think Houston will finish with a better record than Philly, but yeah, the KD stuff is so funny. Oh my gosh,
It's one of the, we're never going to get real confirmation. Like I don't think he's ever going to admit it. The way that although it wasn't called Burnergate, because I was thinking about this last night because Bill Simmons was ranking gates, and he didn't say Burnergate, which I remembered was actually the Brian Colangelo thing, which I think should be top 5 because that was incredible.
Yeah.
But whatever we were calling the first time KD had a burner, that was confirmed. Like that seemed like it was all confirmed. This doesn't feel like we're going to ever hear him admit that it's true because it's just too damaging. And so, but if we did, I think this gets this like stains his legacy. Like it becomes such a big part of his legacy because this idea that every team he went to ended poorly.
Yeah.
And everyone for a long time has just been able to say, well, it wasn't KD's fault. Look at his stats. Like knowing that this is going on potentially behind the scenes, talking about his own teammates, that is really damaging, I think.
I could tell
for his legacy.
Yeah, I sat courtside for the Rockets game, and he was pretty exasperated with Şengün over and over again throughout that game because of defensive effort stuff, and you could see it on his face. I will give KD some credit. In some ways, he would be like in guys' ears about like, here's what you should be doing, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't all like he's upset or whatever. Not all of it was like that, but there was certainly moments where it was like that. He got that way with Reed. He got that way with Şengün. He did get that way with Jabari a little bit. He did with Tari Eason, but the Tari stuff felt more like, let me come alongside you and help you than like, oh my gosh, you got to be kidding me, kind of like stuff. But it was all kind of mixed in there. Like you could tell, even though they won that game, it was still like it was a pretty apparent that like Kevin had some feelings. And so
and I think like to lightly defend KD, like we all probably have these types of thoughts about coworkers when we just get like really emotional and we're just mad at them for like something specific. Sure. And you could imagine in that moment saying something that you'd regret. The thing is, you're supposed to save those conversations for people that you really trust.
Yeah.
And not randos on the internet in a group chat. Because you're just setting yourself up for something like this, if it is true.
It is so if that is true and it is him, it is incredibly dumb.
Yeah.
Especially when you're a public figure like that. Like if we did it, I mean, I work with some public figures, but like not on the level of Alper and Şengün, you know.
Release the Schlecht files. What have you been saying about Al Baby Cakes and the L Man?
The L Man. Right.
When is the L Man going to start putting together these Lego sets? He just keeps putting them in his closet.
Come on, bro. Put together the Legos already.
He has started, folks. Don't worry.
Release the Lego files.
I get onto him all the time.
Yeah.
And he has finally started putting them together.
Yeah. I'll take the 26 Jazz pick in this thing.
Good pick. Good pick.
You know, if it did convey, it would be awesome, though.
I mean, it'd be the funniest end to this season.
Let it be clear. This would be amazing if this conveyed. It might be the funniest one to convey.
Oh, by far.
Left.
Yeah. Would you take how about this, Andrew?
Okay.
Would you take the Jazz pick this year? I'm telling you it's going to be 9th.
Yeah.
Or the Clippers pick next year and it's going to be 5.
I'd take the Jazz pick.
Wow. Sicko. You just want to see the world burn.
It would be so funny.
It would be extremely funny. I was listening to this is the problem with doing Slam and Jam is I'll like listen to a team specific podcast.
Yeah.
And then it'll just stay in my up next feed for a long time.
Yeah.
And so I just happened to see that Locked On Jazz had an episode about their $500,000 fine.
Yeah.
So I listened to it, and David Locke was getting fired up about the Thunder, and it would be very funny.
It would be so good. And
it's man, I really feel like if this season had just gone a little bit different, this would have been something I could believe in happening.
Sure. Yeah.
But it just doesn't really feel that way right now. Who knows? Maybe I just need to believe more. I mean, the Dallas, they have lost nine in a row. Memphis has lost 4 in a row. Memphis only has 20 wins. Utah's is at 18.
Utah would have to take like the threats from the league pretty seriously, I would say.
Yeah, and that's why I looked at their schedule, because I was hoping that there'd be more of these tank wars where they might just stumble into some wins and wouldn't be able to do anything about it. But it's not as exciting as I was hoping for.
Yeah, but you also look at the teams that they've beaten though, Al.
Yeah, I know they are like all the good
Cleveland,
teams.
like the last teams they've beaten: Cleveland, Dallas, San Antonio, Detroit, Dallas, Memphis. They beat Houston. So I don't know.
Yeah, so maybe the recipe is actually other teams just thinking, oh, the Jazz suck. We don't have to worry about this game.
Yeah.
And then, name random Jazz player off the bench just comes in and destroys.
Right. Yeah.
Bryce Sensabaugh. Maybe he will be our hero.
Hey, Sensabaugh can score.
Did you listen to the game theory where they were drafting players from tanking teams?
No.
So the idea of it was the guy has to currently be playing under 10 minutes per game for the season.
Oh, funny.
And you have to draft guys who you think could score a lot of points. And if they have like a 30-point game, you get 1 point, 40-point game, you get 2 points, and 50-point game, a la Malachi Flynn, you get 4 points.
A la Malachi Flynn.
It was without even looking at the rosters. One of my first picks was Rob Dillingham, and that was one of I think that was Bryce's like second pick or something.
Yeah.
There's some guys out there.
Sensabaugh had 43 this year. So
yeah, what is he averaging on the season? He is averaging 12.5, so he actually wasn't eligible to be picked. He's too good.
He's too good.
They did talk about Svi though.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you give Svi 48 minutes, watch out.
He could play. We've seen it. We've seen it firsthand.
Yeah.
Here in OKC.
This will be a very fun. I mean, not for people who are just disgusted by tanking, but for just normal folks who enjoy the absurdity of all of this.
Yeah,
this is going to be a very fun end of the season.
Yeah, you just have to enjoy the absurdity of it. I mean, you just have to. Okay. Appreciate you guys listening. Mark your calendars for March 1st over at Fuzzy's in Chisholm Creek. Join us, get a free hat. We'll have stickers. We'll also have a merch table with t-shirts and stuff. So would love to see you guys there. Watch the game with us. We'll do live pod. Get to hear L-Man scream on the microphone live. That'll be awesome. Hope everybody has an awesome Wednesday. We'll talk to you guys again on Friday.
Hunt to the